Hello and welcome to Numeristical, bringing you the picks of the day for Wednesday, September 25th. It is 8:52 a.m. here in California, 11:52 a.m. East Coast U.S. time. Let's start as always by reviewing the picks from last time. We had just one pick yesterday. It was the Athletics over the Rangers, and the Athletics won. So we had them at exactly even money. So we picked up 1 unit. We are now combined totals and money line down 3.86 units for the season. Total smiles up 11 units. Money line's down about 15 units. We also had the A's against the spread, and they won that as well at minus 163. So we picked up just 0.6 units for that. Spread smiles now down minus 8.4 units for the season. Let's get into today's action, starting with the money lines. Here are the games we are looking at and the model's probabilities. Full slate of action tonight. All 30 teams playing. And the model has given us 4 home teams and 2 visiting teams to take a closer look at. First home team it likes is the Astros hosting the Mariners. It says to take the Astros if you can get minus 106. And actually, it looks like they're showing the Astros as an underdog. Looks like they're showing 120 at Pinnacle. So let's take a look, see what we can get there. Houston and the Mariners right over here. Yeah, and interesting. They're showing Houston a big underdog. So a fair discrepancy. The model thinks the Astros are 56% to win, thinks they're a substantial favorite. And they're being priced as a substantial underdog. So anyway, let's go ahead and bet that. Let's put best we can get on Houston is plus 128 here at Westgate Superbook. So let's go ahead and do that. Astros plus 128. Next up, the Brewers and the Pirates. Model likes the Pirates if you can get 146. Let's take a look. 146, not quite. We're getting a 140, but not 146. So no bet there. Next up, Royals visiting the Nationals. The model thinks this is about a 50-50 game. So it says to take the Nationals if you can get 121. Let's take a look. Here we go. Nationals, not quite 121, 117, but not 121. So no bet there. Next up, the Cardinals visiting the Rockies. Thinks the Rockies are 51% to win the game. So it says if you bet them at 117, that's a good bet. Let's take a look. Rockies, not again, a couple pennies short. We're getting 115 at Superbook, but it's telling us to get 117. So no bet there. Moving on to the visiting teams. First away team is the Cubs visiting the Phillies. Model thinks the Phillies are 59% to win, but says to bet the Cubs if you can get plus 181. And not getting 181, 170 is what we see, so no bet there. And finally, the Twins and the Marlins. Model likes the Marlins on the road. Thinks the Twins are about 58% to win the game, but therefore we should take the Marlins if we can get 170 or better. Marlins beat the Braves last night. And here it looks like we're getting exactly 170. We are getting exactly 170. Here, the Marlins versus the Twins. Here at Circa and South Point, you're getting 170. So we'll take the Marlins plus 170. Okay. Moving on to the totals model. Here's the games and the points and the probabilities. And model is telling us to take a closer look at 2 unders. First one is the Pirates Brewers. Point is 8. Model says bet it if you get plus 108, which is probably a stretch, but let's take a look. Click over to totals. Yeah, and you can see actually everything's gone down to 7.5 except the DraftKings and Heritage. So we're not going to find a bet there. Next up, the Dodgers and Padres. Point is 7.5. And the model says ticket even money. It's showing 102, so this might be a chance. Let's take a look. Dodgers, Padres, 7.5. And yeah, you see plus 102 over here at Heritage. So we'll go ahead and do that. The Padres, Dodgers, under 7.5, plus 102. Plus 102. Okay. Just double check. Padres, Dodgers, yeah. Taking this right over here at Heritage, 7.5 minus 1, plus 102. Okay, that's what we got for totals. So far we've got Astros plus 128, Marlins plus 170, Padres, Dodgers under 7.5 plus 102. Moving on to the spreads model. Here are the games and the probabilities against the spread. Model's telling us to look at 3 home teams, 1 away team. Again, as you would expect, a lot of overlap. So again, likes the Astros plus 1.5. If you can get minus 173, and it's showing minus 150. So again, this game, the model has a pretty sharp disagreement with the bookies. Let's see what we can get. The Astros plus 1.5. We can get minus 140 here at Bet Online. So we'll go ahead and do that. Astros plus 1.5. Oh, spreads. Astros plus 1.5 at minus 140. Next, the Pirates again. Pirates plus 1.5. It says you need minus 117. Pirates plus 1.5, not going to get to minus 117, get minus 127, so no bet there. The Nationals plus 1.5, model wants minus 143. Not quite, minus 148 at Circa for the Nationals plus 1.5, but not minus 143, so no bet there. And finally, the Marlins plus 1.5 says you want minus 117. Marlins plus 1.5, minus 117, not quite getting minus 117. So no bet there. So nothing against, just the one bet against the spread. Astros plus 1.5, minus 140. We've also got the Astros on the money line, plus 128. Marlins plus 170. Padres, Dodgers under 7.5 at plus 102. That's what I got for you today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.